New Year's Eve at the Adelaide Oval, Strikers versus Scorchers, and what a pleasure to have Ollie Pope alongside us. Ollie, how are you enjoying the Big Bash so far?
Yeah, loving it so far. I think it's a comp that I've watched since I was, I don't know, maybe 10 years old. I remember always watching it at 6 a.m. when I woke up back home around Christmas time. So no, to be out here is awesome. I mean, it's a great place to play your cricket. It's been a pretty good pitch so far as well, so having a great time out here.
A bit different weather to what it would be in the UK at the moment, and out here in Adelaide Oval, a beautiful batting track. How have you found this surface so far in BBL?
Yeah, good. I think I played 2 games here now. First game wasn't your usual Adelaide Oval pitch. It was kind of a bit lower, and the scores were, I think we made about 160, 170, and sort of defended it quite comfortably. But then the last game, I think, was a classic Adelaide Oval pitch. Good pitch, you can really trust the bounce in it, so hopefully it's the same tonight.
A few starts for you so far in this competition without getting that big score yet. What do you feel you have to do in your own game to really elevate the score and get those 50s?
Yeah, I think, last couple games I made, I think, 39 and 34, so I've kind of given myself a good chance, and then they've just not come off the shots that I wanted to play. I think they've both been in a time in the innings where you really want to try and kick on and push the run rate up. But I think, yeah, a couple of times the wrists just don't come off, so I don't think there's a lot to change really from that point of view. It's just hope the wrists come off next time.
Pretty good bowling attack the Scorchers have tonight. A lot of international experience within that team. Who do you have to look out for in their side?
Yeah, they've obviously got Jai, Richardson up top, and Berendorf. They've both had a lot of success. Look to swing the new ball. I might be playing a slightly different role this evening, I think, so I might be in slightly earlier. So yeah, that'll provide some different challenges for me. I've not really done that job in T20 cricket before, so that should be good. But like I said, if the pitch is as good as it was the other night, then you can really trust the bounce and hopefully get a reward for your shots.
Now, before we get into some shadow batting and actually look at your stance, at the Adelaide Oval, obviously the square boundaries are quite short. Is that in your mind as you hit the crease? Yeah,
absolutely. I think, yeah, naturally players try and score fairly square of the wicket. Obviously, it's a pretty big hit straight here. And then I think the first thing that not surprised me was how you kind of long off and long on are really wide. So you've got a massive gap there, knowing that you've got to absolutely nail it to get your boundary there. So yeah, but then the bowler's also going to adapt to that as well. They might try and pitch it up a little bit more too. So yeah, it's kind of a game of cat and mouse sometimes here.
All right, Ollie, so you're in position. Talk us through your stance for T20 cricket.
Oh, right, yeah, I set up here. I've got the same trigger whether I'm playing Test cricket or T20 cricket or any Red Bull cricket. So kind of set up slightly open and try and trigger into fairly side-on position, because I know that kind of works well for me. And then just kind of use the crease depending on what I feel the bowler's trying to bowl. Sometimes if I know he's trying to nail a Yorker, I might try and get a bit deeper just to try and mess up his lengths a little bit. And then with the hands, I think for me it's just trying to keep them a little bit higher, especially out in Australia. It bounces a little bit more than back home, so you sometimes can get challenged a little bit more here. So sometimes lift my hands a little bit higher just so you're kind of ready for that pull shot, and then trust yourself getting back into it there.
How challenging is that adjustment to the extra bounce here in Australia?
Yeah, I think it's just getting used to it. I mean, I play at the Oval back home, which is generally fairly bouncy as well, so it's not too much of a difference. It's just being aware of it. Like I said, you look to score fairly square here, so I'll try and capitalise on anything kind of remotely short, square of the wicket, and then if I think they're going Yorker, I might try use my scoops and reverse scoops, but I think I've played 2 so far and they've not come off trying to go reverse, so it might be an option to go the other way this time.
Your favourite shots in T20 cricket? You've talked a bit about square here. What's your favourite shot to play in this format?
So back home, a lot of the time my go-to is that kind of reverse ramp, which hasn't come off, like I said, this time, but it's still definitely a shot that I wouldn't be afraid of bringing out. But I think the extra bounce is probably what's caused me to get out a few times, just hit me on the glove twice, which is kind of annoying, rather than in the middle of the bat. So yeah, I'll look to sort of pounce on anything short, see if I can kind of make the most of these shorter sides. And then if they do pitch up, just trying to hit real strong gaps there and then if I want to take on a boundary, generally here, like I said, it'll be square of the wicket, and then I'll look to reverse sweep and sweep against the spin as well.
Last couple for you before you let you get into it. You hit a shot against the heat down the ground where you actually used your feet to pace. Talk about using your feet to the fast bowling and hitting down the ground. Is that an area of the ground you're looking at when the fielders are up?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely an option. So I think similar to, well, actually the opposite to here. We were playing at the Gabba when I did that, and It's a lot shorter straight, so I knew they were kind of trying to bowl around sort of belly button high, so I thought my best way of accessing that part of the ground was using my feet, so just try and be as quick as I can, get down to the pitch and get it to an area where I can kind of hit it straight over his head and hopefully it comes off.
So Ollie, before we get into this New Year's Eve fixture, obviously a massive clash here at Adelaide Oval, the decision to play Big Bash this year with the Ashes coming up next year doesn't seem like a coincidence. Talk us through it.
Look, I think Oz, what a great place to play it is. The grounds are all great. To be honest, it's not really, I don't like to look too far ahead. I mean, there's benefits in that you get to go play some cricket at these grounds, so fingers crossed I can get on that Ashes trip this time next year. But yeah, like I said, I get to play a fair bit of cricket here, see kind of get used to the facilities, get used to the surroundings. But yeah, it's a completely different format as well. And to be honest, when the sort of offer came on the table, it was a no-brainer. There's a few other comps going on at the same time, but the Big Bash for me is always the one I wanted to really get stuck into. So yeah, hopefully over the next few weeks can really make it count.
Well, it's great to have you on the Big Bash and good luck for the rest of the tournament.
Thanks very much.